My 13-year-old daughter, Kari, was killed by a drunk driver. She was thrown 125 feet and she was left in the road to die. The man who killed her was out on bail from another hit-and-run drunk driving crash. And I took that pain, rage, and grief and started the largest anti-drunk driving organization in the world.
As Lightner speaks about, her daughter was killed by a multiple repeat offender drunk driver who threw her 125 feet and left her in the road to die. Lightner learned that he was still driving on a valid California driver's license despite his prior convictions. She also learned that he was out on bail from another hit-and-run drunk driving crash and that probably nothing would happen to him, because as she says, that's the way the system works. Armed with anger and passion, Lightner set out to change the system and the prevailing attitude of social acceptance about the most often committed crime in the country at the time. Lightner masterminded Mothers Against Drunk Driving, also known as MAD, which she began just 4 days after Kari's death. MAD started as a small California grassroots organization to advocate for stiffer penalties for drunk driving, but grew into an international corporation with more than 400 chapters worldwide and a membership of 2 million in just 3 years. Its mission nowadays is to end drunk driving, help fight drug driving, support the victims of these violent crimes, and prevent underage drinking. Not only did Lightner found MAD, but she also pushed lawmakers into changing laws to save lives. Lightner proved to be a fighter as she visited California Governor Jerry Brown's office every day until he launched a state commission on drunk driving, in which Lightner was later appointed to. Lightner's push led to the overall passage of more than 500 bills at the state and national levels. One of her and MAD's most significant accomplishments was the passing of the national law that raised the legal drinking age to 21, which is credited with saving thousands of lives. Lightner has also testified before Congress, state houses, and committee hearings, as well as formed coalitions. Lightner's empowerment for people to move beyond their grief and make a difference has earned her national acclaim. She was voted one of the most influential people of the 20th century and is many times referred to as the conscience of a nation and mother of movements. Throughout the years, Lightner has contributed great knowledge all over the country through numerous talk shows, documentaries, movies, and hers and others' books. One of Lightner's main goals through MAD was to change the societal views people had put on drunk driving. At the time, many Americans were angry about losing 57,000 men in the Vietnam War, but weren't angry about the 260,000 people killed by drunken drivers in the same period. MAD came out strong with a rallying cry, "Murder by car is still murder," which wasn't seen at the time. At the time Kari was killed in 1980, more than 23,000 Americans were killed each year by drunk drivers, which doesn't compare to the yearly injuries at the time, nearing 500,000. However, with the help of Candy and MAD, those numbers have been nearly cut in half, with only 10,000 drunk driving-related deaths in 2014 and around 300,000 injuries. Overall, Candy has been credited with saving over 600,000 lives ever since the start of MAD. Nowadays, Kari Lightner is president of We Save Lives, which she founded in 2013. It is an organization like that of MAD, whose mission is to support and promote solution-driven policies and programs that save lives by changing dangerous driving choices through viral awareness, education, advocacy, and partnerships. We Save Lives is currently most famous for its new video, Reflections from Inside. Kari Lightner deserves to be in the APU's History Hall of Fame because she didn't just sit and wait around for the world to change. Instead, she went out and changed and still is changing the world herself today. She took her personal tragedy and changed it into a nation's triumph. Kari and her organization were able to effectively change an entire nation's perspective on drunk driving, It is also clear that Candy and Matt have made a truly amazing difference and that most American people now have a clear negative attitude towards drunk driving. The awareness Candy and Matt raised have saved countless lives by preventing many from driving drunk and by rightfully prosecuting those who do. Isn't it amazing what one mother's love can do for an entire nation?